Our Lord and Savior Hideki Kamiya has done an interview on IGN towards Okami 2, and we actually have some new tangible information towards Okami 2. Let's talk all about that in today's video, so sit back, relax, enjoy, take a beverage. Let's get on with this information. So, Clovers did an exclusive interview with IGN, and there was some interesting information towards Okami 2 that I really wanted to talk about in today's video. Some small little crumbles of news, and it's not anything super duper major, but it is pretty important stuff for the big Okami enthusiast that wants to know about the sequel. If you are a big Okami fan, don't forget to subscribe towards the channel because I'm going to cover the shit out of this game. The thing is, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting just a very long time for this game, more than almost 20 years now since the original release of the game in, I think it was 2006, and it's now 2025. It has been a pretty long time since Okami, and luckily I am one of the very late fans that has played this game just very late. I believe the first time that I've played this game was around 2022, so I am not waiting that long for a Okami sequel, but it basically came out of nowhere. I never thought that this would happen, so I know how very special this is towards the Okami fan base that this is actually happening. Let's just get into this information. Let's talk all about it. So Clovers did exclusively do an interview with IGN, and there is some interesting information here in this interview. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the Okami sequel is going to get developed on the RE engine. If you guys don't know what the RE engine is, it's basically the engine that gets used to develop the Resident Evil games. It is a very good engine, I can tell you, and I do think it's a very good engine also for Okami, and the developers said some interesting stuff towards this. By the way, I will link the actual interview also in the description down below so you guys can see the details for yourself, but this was a sentence I found very interesting from Kamiya. So RE Engine is of course famous for showing the best of the games that they have very good expressively, and so we believe people are also expecting and awaiting the RE Engine level of quality now for this game. I found that a very interesting thing that he's saying here, level of quality that people are expecting right now. The thing is, if Okami 2 would use the, let's say, the exact same art style and graphics from the original game, I would already be happy with that because of how visually well it has basically aged. But this tells me that Okami 2 is going to look a bit differently from the first game. It's going to keep, of course, that same art style, that cell shading will be there. Amaterasu will have more detail towards her fur maybe and stuff like that with that cell shading art. Now I do hope though that the world and the character models for Okami 2 will stay really in that ukiyo-e art style, that traditional Japanese art that we want to see. I've also made a top 10 video, by the way, of things that I want to see in Okami 2, and one of those things was the original art style, and a lot of people are hoping that. And to me it sounds good. I could be wrong about this, but it sounds to me that they do want to put much more detail in this world, hopefully from a artistic standpoint, shall I say. I don't want Okami 2 to be a realistic looking game now with a totally different art style. I do hope they understand that at Capcom, but I'm sure Kamiya does understand that. I do think it will look maybe similar towards the teaser trailer a little bit somehow, so still with that cell shading. I do think that cell shading will be absolutely there. Later in the interview, the leads teased RE engine again with Sakata, noting that it may enable the team to do certain things with the Okami sequel that they had wanted to do with the first Okami but couldn't. With today's technology, we are able to achieve all of this that we were trying to achieve back in the days, and perhaps even greater now. Now then what we have the RE engines as well working with us, he said. Another pretty interesting quote here about the fact that they tried to do stuff in the original Okami that they couldn't do back then. Now I'm trying to think, spitball here, of what that actually could be, because in my opinion I believe of the original game design has been realized. Now I could be totally wrong about this, and maybe you guys are able to tell me in the comment section down below what they are talking about here. Could they be talking about more of a open world style game? Because that's really what you can do with today's technology, with SSDs, loading in faster, stuff like that. Maybe towards physics somehow that is more possible. Some special gameplay mechanics that they want to do with destructible environments or something, maybe towards the brush mechanics. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what they mean here with this quote. What it could be, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Because I do think this is pretty interesting to speculate about what they actually mean here with technology that they have now, and what type of gameplay thing that they can do now but not then, back when Okami 1 was released. Now also something very interesting here, Capcom actually also apparently also wanted to make a Okami sequel, but basically we needed certain key people in the right place. At least that's how they are phrasing this in this interview. I know specifically that people are still enjoying this game just from the numbers. Normally when we look at games, the sales sort of slow down and they decrease steadily. Sometimes they jump up and down, but normally they go down. But for Okami, we see that it's been steady stream of people always enjoying the game. So in that way, Okami is a very, very unique IP. That is a very interesting thing that they are mentioning here. So that is also because of a few reasons. First of all, the good word of mouth, of course, really helps to sell this as a hidden gem. That's always what Okami was, a hidden gem. And now it's been getting into the mainstream. People are, of course, curious, and they have done a very good job by having this remaster available. The remaster has done a lot of lifting to get this game towards a modern audience on the PlayStation 4, but also back already on the PlayStation 3 they had Okami available. They made it available on the Nintendo Switch, on PC, and because of the availability now, it's not locked towards one platform because of exclusivity. A lot more people are able to check this game out. And now, as of today, Okami has sold 4.6 million worldwide sales, and that is very good. That basically includes the original as well as the HD remaster, shall I say, and most of the heavy lifting is done with the actual HD remaster. Still though, the fact that people are still playing it, they see this in the numbers in the back end of Capcom, but also buying it as well. That has been one of the most important triggers for this sequel happening. So it's good. This is very good news to me that this game is actually selling right now and new people are playing this game. And back when I was making that retrospective video, I said in that video more people should check this out now. And in my opinion, Okami is even more relevant now with its thematics and topics. Also towards climate change, stuff like that. Because of course we know Okami is a very nature-focused thematic game. restoring nature, stuff like that. But not just that, of course, we have had a big push of live service games recently, and a lot of people don't like that. They want single player games with a beginning and an end and a narrative, and a lot of people want more of the older style games back, and Okami really has that, you know? So it has multiple reasons why it's gaining more sales, in my opinion, but it's also because of the quality that was there with the original game, how much of a masterpiece it was, and word of mouth spreading around, selling people the game, that they can buy it, try it out. That just does a lot of good things. Positive word of mouth can do a lot of wonders for this game. As a result, Hirabayashi says that Capcom has been considering a sequel to Okami for some time. However, Hirabayashi explains the publisher needed to have certain key people in place, including Kiyohiko Sakata and to the director Hideki Kamiya. So these two were very important to be kind of back at Capcom, not per se maybe at Capcom, but in contact with Capcom and having the same idea of making a sequel. Now, the stars are basically aligning that Kamiya has left Platinum Games, and he also pushed towards Capcom, hey, I want to make a sequel. I've already made also a YouTube video about that, where he was saying that before Okami 2 was revealed, I want to make a sequel, and guess what? It happened. Capcom listened and sees now the potential, so that is just awesome to see. Another small thing that they actually confirm in the interview is that it is in fact like 100% a sequel. It's going to be directly continuing where the first game left off. They basically double confirmed this again in the interview. Hirabayashi and Kamiya both confirm it's a sequel. That means we're going to see Amaterasu again, as in from the first game Amaterasu. It's not a different Amaterasu, not a different reincarnation or like another version. That also maybe means that we are going to see old characters back, like Isun, maybe. I do think that's quite highly likely. And maybe, like I speculated in my top wishlist video, that we might get to see the Celestial Plane. I hope so. I really want to see what the Celestial Plane is about, because they kind of teased that at the end of the game. Amaterasu goes back towards the Celestial Plane, but I want to see what that Celestial Plane is. What about the Moon Tribe, stuff like that. So it is in fact a actual continuation of the first game's story. They clearly confirmed this as well in this interview. Now, they also talk a little bit shortly about Okami Den, and Okami Den is kind of the black sheep in the family. It's not really a black sheep, but a lot of people love Okami Den. They do talk a little bit about Okami Den as in, yeah, it exists, but they aren't really going to build upon Okami Den, at least for this game. It is actually going to build upon the first game. The feeling that I have, what they are going to do, Kamiya is going to probably look at Okami Den, okay? What are good things that they have done in Okami Den? And what are the bad things? And maybe he's going to put maybe a few like slight Easter eggs towards Okami Den in somehow, or maybe some small characters that they can maybe connect or give a connection with Okami Den. I don't know that for sure though, but they are trying to basically, yeah, Okami Den exists and that's fine, but it's not really a main important thing to incorporate with the sequel. That's basically what they are hinting at. Also, Hideki Kamiya does actually look at his social media posts. So if you guys do talk about Okami, maybe hopefully he has seen one of my videos. That will be pretty cool of him if he has. But yeah, he actually does lurk on social media, maybe on YouTube as well towards Okami stuff. So hi Kamiya, if you ever see this video, Now, another small thing that I wanted to talk about, the song that was composed for the Game Awards, which is of course Rising Sun, which is featured of course in the original Okami, is in fact also being composed by Rai Kondo. Sorry if I'm butchering this name. So basically the version from the Game Awards was also composed by Rai Kondo. So maybe we are going to see Rai back as well for the soundtrack for the sequel as well. So that is a pretty interesting thing that you guys might want to know about for the soundtrack. And also one last thing that of course that they want to end on for this interview. The Okami sequel is in very early development, so it's still going to take some time, guys. They absolutely hammer on this in the interview. It's in very early stages of development, which means it's still probably going to be a few years. Also, there is another studio called Machine Head Works, and Machine Head Works is also going to assist with the development of Okami 2. And the thing is, the developers at Clovers, they don't know really how to use RE Engine. So what Head Machine Works is going to do, they are going to be a intermediate position. They are going to be in the middle between Capcom and Clovers as kind of a helping studio to show Clovers how RE Engine works. Now, when is Okami 2 going to come out? Because of the fact that they don't know how RE Engine works, that is going to delay it maybe even a little bit longer. A normal game like this, I think 4 years would be good enough. But because of the fact that they have to learn to use the RE engine as well, it might take 5-6 years until we see this game. So yeah, it still might take a pretty long time before we see this game releasing at all. But if there is any more news towards Okami 2, leaks, rumors, news, that type of stuff, I will of course cover that for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming news, leaks, rumors towards the biggest video games, towards single player games mainly. I'm covering PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, you name it, as long as they are big single player games. I also do video game essays. Quick update, I'm also planning a new essay. I have some ideas, I'm writing the script. I'm going to film it as well, so I'm busy with that in the meantime. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.